Okay, to make our paper quilled angel, we're going to need a hammer. It doesn't have to be a big hammer, but a hammer, some glue, a cork, and a toothpick, just a regular toothpick, some strips of paper cut to 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch computer paper cut the full length of the computer paper, just a 1/2 inch, and some scissors and a ruler. There's also a link to a PDF version of the directions in the description of the video. Hi, I'm Denise Haney. I'm going to demonstrate a paper quilled angel today. I want to tell you a little bit about quilling, if you've never heard of that. It is an art of rolling and shaping and gluing paper that results in a decorative design. And I thought it was interesting that quilling comes from the origin of birds' feathers or quills that were used to coil the strips of paper around. So we're not going to use birds' feathers for this. And quilling must have come a long way since birds' feathers, because they have special tools for it now. This is a quilling tool here. But today we're going to make our own quilling tool out of corks and toothpicks, which you should have. So we're going to start by, let me show you what we're going to make first. This is what we're going to make, is a paper quilled angel, okay? So to start, we're going to have to make our quilling tool. So in order to do that, we're going to first take a toothpick and cut it in half. I marked on my toothpick where the halfway point is, and the trick is to cut it and not have the pieces fly all over the room. So that might be kind of the trickiest part of this. So what you're gonna do, now you have 2 halves of a toothpick, and you're going to put them together very close like this. I don't know if you can see that. And then you're going to take the pointy end of the toothpick and push it into the center part of the cork. Just kind of get it started a little bit. And then you're going to use a hammer to gently tap the 2 pieces in. You want to hold the paper clips together so that they are nice and tight, like this. And now you have your quilling tool. So the first thing we're going to do is quill the angel's head. And this is pretty easy. It's just going to be a circle. You're going to take one of your strips of paper and insert it in between the 2 toothpicks that you just hammered into your cork. And I hold the paper strip with my right hand, or with my left hand, and the cork with my right hand. And I'm right-handed, so if you're left-handed, this will probably be reverse. And then you're going to put the paper so that it's just ever so slightly above the toothpicks. And then you start rolling it toward you. And you don't need this to be very, very tight. In fact, you don't want it to be super tight, because the tighter you coil the strip, the smaller your circle will be. So if you just, gently coil this, turning the cork towards you until the very end of the paper, like so. And once you get it going, you can go kind of fast, okay? And then once you reach the end of your paper, like this, you're going to slide it off. And you should have a nice little coiled up piece of paper here. And then this is kind of the fun part. I just sort of set it on a flat surface of my table and then just let it unfold. Let it uncoil a little bit. And then if you have some glue, once this uncoils a little bit, I wrap this one a little bit tight. But once this uncoils, you're going to put your glue on the loose end and, okay, just a dab will do ya. Literally just the tiniest little bit is enough to hold these little paper coils in place. So I just push it down and sort of apply some pressure for a couple seconds, and then that's going to be your angel head. So you can, once you're feeling like that's feeling confident that dried, then you can set that aside. Okay? So that will be your angel's head. The next step is going to involve making a teardrop shape for the body. And you can see the body of the angel is just made by gluing lots of teardrop shapes, 10 teardrop shapes together. So that's going to be the next step. So again, you're going to do the same thing that you did with the circle. Put your paper between the toothpicks and start rolling towards you, just like we did with the circle, okay? And you might be a little bit faster at this time around. You just coil to the end. And once you reach the end of the paper, you'll slide that off the toothpicks, put it on your table, and let that uncoil a little bit. So I'll wrap that one a little bit looser, and you can see the circle is a little bit bigger. If I want to shrink it a little, I just pull the loose end and that'll tighten it up a little bit. The key with this is to try to get your circles about the same size. And I was using a dime to gauge my size. So you have a little dime here, and just to try to keep things uniform, that's what I was trying to use that as a guide. So that's just ever slightly bigger than a dime. The head was probably perfect as a perfect dime shape on the head, but the rest of these will be just a little bit bigger than a dime. So once you have this glued, you can put your finger right on the seam of the glue, and then you're going to use your index finger and your thumb, and you're just going to pinch this. And you can let the center push up. You see the little center of the hurricane here. It kind of moves up towards the wider end of the teardrop shape. Okay, so there is one of your teardrop shapes. We need to make 10 of these. So I'm going to demonstrate one more teardrop shape, and then this might be a good place to pause the video and come back when you have assembled your 10 teardrop shapes, and then we can start working on the wings of the angel. So this part takes a little bit of time because you have to make 10 of these. So again, here I'm making another teardrop shape. coiling this paper strip all the way to the end, slip it off, and let this uncoil about, yep, that big. Put some glue on the underside of that, just the tiniest amount, and then push it on. Hold it in place with your index finger, and then as it's drying, I just kind of give it a little pinch and let go. And there's number 2. Okay, moving right along. Okay, I'm going to pause the video and let you continue. Make 10 of these, so you have 8 more to go, and I'll see you back for the wings. I made a few extra. I decided that this head was a little too small, so I made another one, and I made a few extra teardrop shapes for the body because some of my teardrops seemed a little bigger than others, and the key with the body is to try to get them as close to the same size as possible. So if you have 1 or 2 that turn out a little bit bigger or too small, like this one is a little small compared to this one, then just, you can make another one, and then just choose your best 10. That's what I would do. So next up we have the wings. We're gonna need 2 strips cut to 8 inches, and you can just use the strips that were in your bag and a ruler, measure out 8 inches and cut it. And you'll need 2 strips that are 7 inches, same idea, measure out 7, cut them. And then 1 strip that is the full length, so you won't need to trim that one at all. Okay, so very simple. You're just going to, for the 8-inch size, just gonna put a little glue here on the end and glue the ends together so that you have this shape. And we're gonna do that again. Okay. Just pinch and hold for a couple seconds. And then the 7 inches, same idea. On the ends with your glue. Fold it over, pinch it together. So you have that shape. So we've got a little bit smaller, same shape, just a little bit smaller. Oh, I already glued that one. And that. The last one will be a little bit trickier. We're just going to fold it in half, match up the ends, and put a little crease right there. And then open it back up. And now your glue is going to go on either side of that crease line. Just a little dab on either side of the crease. And then you're gonna fold the right side up, right to that crease, push it down, and then this side, same idea, so that they meet in the middle. And just hold that there for a little second. And then we can start to layer the wings. So you can see this part is the bottom, this part will be the middle, and this part will be the top, okay? So if you put this down, you can glue the middle here and here. Okay, so we're gonna do that. A little dab here, right in the center, and you can see where the center is because you folded that crease before. Okay, so the centers match. And now we have that much. And now we're going to put on the top of the wing. All right. Right on top of the other ones. Okay. And the same here. Look at that, it's standing right up. Okay. All right. And now we have angel wings. Ta-da. Okay. Step 5 is assemble the angel. Well, we're going to start with the head. And what I like to do is find that seam where I glued, and that's where I'll put the glue, just for a little extra support and also to hide it. So starting with the head, you're going to put the head on the top with the big wings. So right there. And this is, I just sort of put my fingers on either side like this so that it holds it in line with the other strips of paper. So now you can see we have a head and the wings. Next up, body. So I'm going to set this down right here and we can start building the body. Take one of your teardrops, and this is the tricky part here. When you start building your angel body, the first teardrop goes on rounded side up. So we're gonna glue it on like that. And then the rest of them are going to go pointy side up, okay? But to start the body, we're gonna put the rounded side up, right under the head. So you can put your glue here, would be fine. And just, again, hold it. You wanna pay attention, is it centered? No, mine isn't. So I'm gonna move it a little bit because the glue is a little bit forgiving and will let you reposition it a couple times before it dries, but you don't want your angel body to be crooked. So it's worth taking the time to try to get that lined up in the center, the point. Just focus on the point of it because the center can sometimes look crooked and throw you off a little bit. So focus on that point. Okay, next we're going to glue 2 teardrops side by side. I'm trying to find 2 that are about the same size because that's what makes it easier if they're the same size. Okay, and then that's how they're going to line up. 2 teardrops like that on either side of that point. So I'm going to put my glue here. Okay, and just hold that steady. And then here, I'm gonna put the glue here. You can use a little bit more glue here. And you're also gonna wanna glue the 2 rounded parts of these 2 teardrops. You want them to touch and stay together. So I put glue on the flat part leading up to the point and the curved part because that's gonna touch this teardrop. And we want them to stick not only to the previous row, but to each other. So I just kind of push and press very gently because you don't want to squish your teardrops until that sticks. And I need a little more glue up here on the closer to the point. Okay. Okay. And I'm just gonna hold that. Okay, and then the next row, you're gonna use 3 teardrops. So we're just getting bigger by 1 on each row. You see that okay? Now we're gonna find 3 that are about the same size. Let's see. I like these 2 and maybe this one. Maybe about the same. That one's small. So we'll use these 3. 1, 2, 3. And then they're going to go pointy side up again, and we're gonna glue them just like this, this, and this. And we're going to want to make sure you glue them to the side and to each other, like that. Okay, now we just glue. I want some here. Just gonna glue on the top on this one to start. Press that in. Okay, and then this one. Oh, that one started to glue itself in there. Must have had a little extra. On that, I'm gonna glue both sides because it's touching both 2 teardrops here in the center, and then I'm also gonna put a little glue over here so it glues to this one on that curved part, like that. So there's 2 glues, 3 glues actually. Okay, just line that up, put it right up into the point, and then press these 2 together. And then the last one, we're gonna put glue on the top and on the curve down here so it glues to this one. Okay. So there, and squeeze it together here. All right. And when you think that's dried, you can move on to the last row. Got glue everywhere. Okay, and your last row will be 4 across the bottom. So 1 there, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And the same idea, we're going to glue to the side and to each other. Okay, so little glue here to start. And then the next one, I'm gonna glue here, here, and on that curve because it's gonna stick to this one. So here, here, and on the curve. Okay. This down right in that little center and push it together. Match up. Okay. Next one. Glue here, here, and on that curve. Last one on the side and the curve, just the one side this time because it's on the outside. Okay, on the top and the curve, put it there, touch the one beside it, and that completes your angel. And you now have a paper quilled angel. The fun thing to do with this would be you could make several of these and make them into a garland. You could decorate it with glitter. You could just put her on a shelf. You could add some sequins, like a little sequined collar, or a ribbon, like a little bow. or you could put a string through the top of the head and hang it on your Christmas tree. There's lots of things you can do with the Pretty Paper Angel, and I hope you enjoyed learning paper quilling. There's lots and lots of paper quilling art on Pinterest that you could look up and see all the amazing things that people do with paper quilling. It's actually really quite fun. So I encourage you to explore that more. Thanks for watching.